There are many free video editors for YouTube that are just as good, if not better than the paid ones, and I'm confident you'll find one in the top 5 that's just right for you. Hi, thanks for joining me. I'm Steve from ClickEdit, and today I'll be counting down the top 5 best free video editors for YouTube in 2022. That's right, free. No trial periods, no watermarks, no time limit, and they have an export resolution of 1080p or more. Let's get into it. Taking out the number 5 spot is kdenlive, an open source editor packed with heaps of great features, such as the ability to use almost any audio or video file format using FFmpeg. Getting started with kdenlive is quite user-friendly. Let's select a new project with plenty of options for video settings. For YouTube videos, 1080p at 30 frames per second is a good starting point. Click and drag your media files to the project bin, or you can drag them straight onto the timeline. Now I'm quickly showing you how to take a short clip from a video file using in and out points. The clip we just made is found under a neat drop down from the original file in the project bin. Let's click and drag our new clip onto the timeline. Now the second video we'll drag onto a separate track so we can create a transition effect. The music goes onto the audio track. You can see I've now opened the Compositions tab where you'll find the transitions. Let's go ahead and select the wipe transition. The wipe on kdenlive is similar to the cross dissolve or cross fade in other programs. As you can see from this short demo, the interface is quite easy to use once you know where everything is. Now we'll add the fade in effect. I like the vibrant visuals for the effects on the timeline. Now let's preview our project in the top right. Or better still, let's use kdenlive's full screen feature. kdenlive has a handful of selectable themes for the interface. Here we have the default. I prefer the Breeze Dark theme. There's even a rust colored theme for something a little different. To give you more room to move with your projects, kdenlive has 5 separate screens: logging, editing, audio, effects, and color. Installing kdenlive is easy enough, and it's available for Windows, Mac, and Linux. If you're just getting started, there are plenty of tutorials and guides available on the kdenlive website. They cover everything from creating a new project and adding clips through to exporting and troubleshooting. Wrapping it up, kdenlive is feature-packed with loads of tools and effects and can export up to 4K. It's also customizable and relatively easy to use once you get past the initial learning curve. kdenlive is best for beginners and intermediate users. Next up at number 4 is Shotcut, another powerful open source editor which won't cost you a cent. Just like kdenlive, Shotcut exports up to 4K and can handle just about any media file type using FFmpeg. Shotcut is also highly customizable with the option of creating floating toolbars to personalize your digital workspace. When you first open Shotcut, you have the option of starting a new project in the middle of the interface or the file menu as usual. Let's get started in the middle here. Give your project a name and select a video mode. There are plenty of options up to 4K Ultra HD at 60 frames per second. Click Start and we're on our way. Simply click and drag media files into the playlist, or what I'm used to calling the media bin. Files can be dragged onto the timeline from your playlist or simply from your desktop or another folder. The first file dragged onto the timeline creates a new track, no surprises there. But if you drag a second file, it doesn't automatically open a second track or layer. In fact, it does some kind of messy merge with the first layer. Okay, let's undo that. You have to add another track from the timeline menu or use shortcut keys. I also noticed our music files open up a video track, not audio. Now I have to create an audio track for it, again by using the menu or keys. Next up, let's check out a very handy auto transition feature. We'll start by shortening our first video. Now we'll add the second clip to the timeline. If we leave one clip butted up against the other, the transition is a basic cut snapping from one scene to the next. Now watch what happens when I drag one clip over the other. Shotcut creates an automatic transition where the clips overlap. By default, the auto transition is a cross dissolve, but you can right click and change it to your heart's content. If we click on effects in the top right, this will take us to Shotcut's dedicated effects screen. You certainly aren't starved of options here when it comes to effects and transitions. Let's go with the preset glitch effect and place it at the end of our first clip. Applying effects in Shotcut might seem a little clunky at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's actually quite simple. Let's check out the glitch effect we just applied. You have plenty of workspace with Shotcut's 6 screens or views: logging, editing, effects, color, audio, and player. Shotcut is available on Windows, Mac, and Linux. You'll find some handy tutorials on their website. Wrapping up, Shotcut has heaps of premium features, including 4K, but lacks some more intuitive ones, such as generating auto layers or tracks. It sets the bar high with a fully customizable interface with the option of floating toolbars. Shotcut is user-friendly once you learn where everything is. Shotcut is best suited for beginner to intermediate level users. Taking out the number 3 spot is openshot, one of the best options for those just starting out or perhaps looking to make video editing less complicated. But don't be fooled by openshot's ridiculously basic interface. Underneath this simplified exterior lies more than 400 effects and enough advanced tools to perform most projects with relative ease. What makes openshot even more appealing is its animated title feature, where it draws upon another free open source program called Blender to render some impressive text effects. Once set up, pick your animation effect, type in your text, and then go grab a coffee, because it's probably going to take a while to render. For this demo, I've applied the glare effect to my edit title. I'm using a photo background to which I'll add the color saturation effect. As you can see, openshot provides thumbnails for effects, which is very handy if you're just starting out or if you're not familiar with a particular effect or transition. While openshot is constantly being updated and improved, it still has its issues. It was the only program in our top 5 which crashed during this review. openshot also struggles to recognize some graphics cards, which leaves some users relying on the CPU for rendering, and that's no fun. A system with decent specs is definitely needed to get the most out of openshot. There are plenty of download options: Windows, Mac, Linux, and even Chrome. There is a handy user guide on their website to get you started, not to mention some great tutorials on YouTube. Wrapping it up, openshot has loads of preset effects and transitions to choose from. For the lovers of animated text, the Blender titles are a nice addition. Export quality is up to 4K, but what really sets openshot apart from its rivals is its simple interface, which makes it an ideal choice for beginners, so long as you have a system with decent specs. Before we get to our top 2 best free video editors for YouTube, let's check out a few others that are worth mentioning. The first is iMovie, which is Mac only, but comes built in and free. Compared to the built-in Windows video editor, iMovie is quite decent and has plenty of features for most projects. Next is Lightworks, which would easily find its way into our top 5 if it improved just one thing. Its output resolution is capped at 720p. Now this might be okay for some social media platforms, but for YouTube and more professional projects, 720 just doesn't cut it. Only the paid versions of Lightworks have decent output resolutions. VSDC is another solid alternative which is popular amongst users who may not have the latest and greatest computer specs. Limited to Windows only, VSDC packs plenty of premium features and effects into its video editing software package. Our last special mention goes to newcomer VN Video Editor. Previously only available as a mobile app, VN has now been developed for PC, ready to go for Windows and Mac. VN appeals to a broad spectrum of users, but I think it's best suited for beginners and those looking to make their video editing quick and easy. VN has plenty of high quality tools and effects to keep most creators happy and can export your projects up to 4K. Now let's get back into the countdown for our best 2 free video editors for YouTube 2022. In the runner-up spot at number 2 is HitFilm Express. Being a freemium editor, you have the option of adding to the already powerful free baseline software with paid add-ons. Most users won't even know what's actually missing, as HitFilm Express packs plenty of professional-grade tools and effects even in the totally free version. Aside from the blockbuster movie-style special effects, HitFilm raises the bar with its composite shot feature. This allows you to basically have mini projects within your overall project. To demonstrate composite shots, I'm giving you a backstage pass to go behind the scenes of the making of this video you're watching right now. At the moment, you're seeing the main editor timeline where it all comes together, but each of these other tabs is a composite shot. If we click on the one for the start of this HitFilm segment, you can see the composite shot allowed me to combine multiple layers of images, text, shapes, and video. I even created the popping effect in here. The other great benefit of using composite shots is they can be used between different projects by simply importing them across. Adding special effects is a breeze, although there aren't any thumbnail previews here. Let's add one of my favourites, the cross dissolve. I've been using HitFilm Express as my go-to editor for several years now, and in my opinion, it's one of the best editors, free or paid. There is, however, a steep learning curve which may rattle some beginners, and you also can't bring up a full screen preview without a second display monitor. Downloading HitFilm Express is still a little clunky. Once you click the download button, you're taken to a page of options. If you want to support the devs, you can opt to pay $9 through to $39 using the slider, with each increase providing more tools and effects. If it's free you want, then it's free you can get by sliding all the way to the left. Complete your details, then the download link will be sent to your email. HitFilm Express is available to download for Windows and Mac. What appeals to me most about HitFilm Express is its amazing visual effects. You get a top quality video editor with loads of tools and effects to start with, and the freemium benefits of adding on more if you want to down the track. The learning curve is substantial, but there are plenty of tutorials to help you on your way. HitFilm Express is best suited to intermediate users and lovers of blockbuster visual effects. Coming up in just a moment is our number 1 pick for best free video editor for YouTube in 2022. But first, if you've come this far already, I'm guessing you've got something out of this countdown. If video and photo editing, along with improving your YouTube channel, is of interest to you, please subscribe and keep your notifications on for the latest reviews and tutorials from ClickEdit. Also, I'd love to hear from you. Tell me which free video editor you use for your YouTube channel. Okay, here it is. Best free video editor for YouTube in 2022 is DaVinci Resolve. To put it simply, you are getting professional studio-grade editing software for free. It's crazy, but it's true. From its color grading options through to its extensive selection of high-end tools and effects, DaVinci Resolve matches it with many of its paid rivals, and in some cases is more superior. As you can see, the interface is comprehensive. It looks and feels professional. It does take a while to work out which buttons do what, but once you get past the fairly steep learning curve, you'll be rewarded for your efforts. Your creations for YouTube will reach a whole new level as you realize just how much you can achieve with DaVinci Resolve. Here you can see the fusion screen. This is where the magic happens, applying effects such as this preset film damage effect to your videos. If color grading is your thing, then you'll love the color screen, where you'll find options for the standard color wheels, HDR, RGB, and motion effects. Audio enthusiasts will lose themselves in the Fairlight screen. How good is this? The final screen or tab is for output. Here you can export your video using one of the presets, including YouTube 1080p and lots of other social media options. You can also set the resolution up to 4K. DaVinci Resolve truly is the complete YouTube video editing package, available to download free for Mac, Windows, and Linux. Whether you're just starting out with DaVinci Resolve or looking to brush up your skills in a certain area, there is plenty of training available through their website and on YouTube. Wrapping it up, DaVinci Resolve is the industry standard, being professional and comprehensive free video editing software, perfect for YouTubers. There is a lot to learn, but in my opinion, that's half the fun. You'll be improving your editing skills along with your YouTube channel. DaVinci Resolve can be intimidating for beginners, so I think it's best suited for intermediate to advanced level users. Thanks again for joining me for this top 5 countdown of the best free video editors for YouTube 2022. If you haven't already, consider subscribing and keep an eye out for more editing reviews and tutorials over the next few days. Better still, turn your notifications on and you'll be the first to see them. My name's Steve and this is Click Edit.